So how is the political system built in Brazil? Let's have a look. The president, who is elected by the people, acts as both head of state and chief of the executive branch of government. Power is shared with the legislative branch called the National Congress. It creates laws and actually oversees the executive power. Then there's the judiciary. Several different courts solve legal conflicts. Each of the country's 27 states have political autonomy. One group that is feeling increasingly powerless is an indigenous group called the Kayapo. As Brazil develops, they're being significantly impacted. CCTV Sean Callebs met with them in the rainforest.
For centuries, members of the Kayapo tribe deep in the rainforest of Brazil have lived in harmony with nature. But their way of life is being threatened like never before. Progress is encroaching on them, in part in the form of a massive hydroelectric dam being built on the Xingu River called Belo Monte. Megaron is one of the leaders of the Kayapo.
Eu desejaria que meu povo vivesse a vida deles, costume deles, do jeito que está, sem nenhuma interferência. É isso que eu desejaria para eles, porque com o contato tem muita interferência.
There are about 80,000 Kayapo. The Xingu River runs right through the heart of their indigenous government-protected land. Critics say the dam puts the river at risk. Brazil says it needs the hydroelectric dam to provide electricity to the nation's 200 million people. Norte Energia, the conglomerate building the dam, offered the Kayapo $9 million to help the Kayapo deal with the changes the dam will bring. Megaron says his people want construction halted and rejected the financial offer.
Porque esse Belo Monte, a construção de Belo Monte, vai inundar, vai modificar nossa vida para o resto da vida. Não vai trazer de volta para nós o rio, o peixe, a terra, a floresta, animais. Tudo isso vai acabar, vai morrer.
Critics of the hydroelectric dam say it's government-sanctioned genocide.
Many people who deal with the Amazon...
Scientist Philip Fernside has lived in Brazil for decades and says if the Kayapo and other indigenous tribes are uprooted, the result could be catastrophic.
Basically, that entire population would be expelled by these dams, and they don't have any skills to survive in cities and so forth. The social cost is tremendous.
Even without the hydroelectric project, indigenous populations here in the Amazon are losing ground to progress. Megaron laments the fact that many young people in this community don't want to learn to hunt or fish or the traditional Kayapo way of life. And he says that is a direct threat to their future.
Chegou chuva.
We spent a long, hot day on the Xingu River with Megaron, a local chief named Benjai, and other Kayapo. They constantly worry about squatters, loggers, or farmers moving onto land the government has set aside for the Kayapo. Still, for the time being, food is plentiful. Benjai killed a monkey that will provide food for his family and others.
Quer ajudar nós para nós manter nossa cultura, nosso costume.
But life is hard. After hunting, the Kayapo begin fishing for piranha, a staple of their diet. It's fascinating to outsiders, but back in the Kayapo village, none of the youth appear interested in hunting or fishing. Most prefer Western clothes and want a better education, a job outside of their world of thatch roof huts.
Esse é problema sério que nós estamos enfrentando. E não estão preocupados com continuar lutando para defender sua terra, seu povo, sua língua, seu costume. Isso é muito ruim, é muito triste para nós que estamos vendo isso.
The Kayapo have survived so much over the centuries. Enslavement, suppression, but even Megaron wonders if his people can survive progress. Sean Callebs, CCTV, on Kayapo, indigenous lands in Brazil.